I was never just a fighter. I was a student of martial arts, of life, and of the mind. Many believe that being a great fighter is solely about power, speed, and technique. But I realized early on that physical strength alone would never be enough. A true martial artist doesn't just train their body, they train their mind, their spirit, and their ability to think ahead. While others spent hours perfecting the same techniques without question, I was always asking, why? How can this be improved? Is this truly the most effective way? I refused to confine myself to a single way of thinking. I immersed myself in over 2,500 books on philosophy, psychology, strategy, and even poetry. To win a fight, you must first understand yourself, your opponent, and the world around you. Fighting isn't just about throwing punches or kicking harder. It's about anticipation, adaptability, and mental discipline. The mind must be faster than the body. Someone who relies solely on physical strength will eventually be defeated by someone who is smarter, more strategic, and more adaptable. People often ask me, "What's your style?" My answer is simple. I have no style. Styles are like rigid cages. They trap you in a fixed way of thinking. Traditional martial arts often emphasize memorizing techniques and repeating movements without questioning their effectiveness. But I didn't believe in following blindly. I took what was useful, discarded what wasn't, and forged my own path. This is what set me apart and made me unstoppable. I rejected the limitations of old ways of thinking. I believed in freedom. Freedom of movement, freedom of thought, and the ability to adapt to any situation. This wasn't just my approach to fighting, it was my approach to life. Stay open, keep learning, and never be afraid to evolve. That mindset is what shaped me into who I am. At 18, I left everything I knew in Hong Kong and moved to the United States with only $100 in my pocket. No guarantees, no safety net, no one to rely on. Just me, my dreams, and the determination to fight for a better future. Some would have been afraid, but I saw it as an opportunity to grow, to test myself, and to build my future with my own hands. I took whatever jobs I could find to survive. I washed dishes in restaurants, standing for hours, scrubbing plates until my hands were raw. The pay was meager, the work exhausting, and at times, I barely had enough to eat. But I never complained. I never felt sorry for myself. I saw every hardship as another form of training. Just like in martial arts, pain and discipline make you stronger. I treated life the same way. Every challenge was a test of endurance, patience, and resilience. But life keeps testing me. Even after all my sacrifices, I faced rejection after rejection. I wanted to bring martial arts to America, to share my knowledge, but doors didn't open easily. People doubted me. They underestimated me. They said an Asian man could never be a leading actor in Hollywood. They told me my accent was too strong and my look didn't fit the American audience. They wanted me to play small roles, side characters, the weakling who never wins. But I refused. I didn't beg for a chance. I created my own. I started teaching martial arts, training students who would later become some of the greatest fighters and actors in Hollywood. I perfected my craft, developing my own unique style, Jeet Kune Do. When Hollywood ignored me, I returned to Hong Kong and made my own films, proving to the world that I was more than just a side character. Life doesn't hand you success. You have to take it, fight for it, and push through every obstacle. I turned every rejection into fuel, every failure into motivation. The world doesn't decide who you are. You do. In 1970, I suffered a severe back injury that could have ended everything. The doctors told me I might never fight again. They thought my story was over. But I wasn't finished. The injury took away my ability to train physically, but it couldn't take my mind, my spirit, or my will to fight. I turned to writing, pouring my knowledge, philosophy, and understanding of martial arts into what would become one of the most important books in martial arts history, The Tao of Jeet Kune Do. Pain can either break you or build you. I chose to let it build me. People believe in limits because they accept what others tell them. They let doctors, teachers, society, or failures define them. But I never believed in limits. A limitation is only real if you accept it. I refused to accept mine. I rebuilt myself, studying the science of movement, refining my understanding of the body, and focusing on mental discipline. When I finally recovered, I came back stronger than ever. An injury doesn't define a man. His willpower does. Mastery doesn't come from talent alone. Success isn't given. It's earned through hard work, pain, and dedication. I trained 6 hours a day, every day, not to impress others, but to be the best. If I missed a punch by an inch, I repeated it 1,000 times until it was perfect. I didn't accept almost. I demanded absolute mastery. Most people want success, but aren't willing to suffer for it. They want greatness, but aren't willing to do what it takes. That's why most will never be legends. They stop when it gets hard. I never did. Hollywood told me I wasn't marketable. They said an Asian man could never be a leading star. They offered me small roles, sidekick parts, the ones who always lose. They even stole my ideas, taking my concept for the warrior and giving it to someone else. But I didn't accept it. I knew my worth. I left Hollywood, returned to Hong Kong, and made my own films: The Big Boss, Fist of Fury, Way of the Dragon. I didn't wait for permission or approval. I took control of my destiny. And when those films became massive hits, Hollywood came crawling back. The world doesn't give you a place. You take it. If the door is closed, kick it down. If they don't believe in you, believe in yourself so fiercely that they have no choice but to see your greatness. I didn't become a legend because Hollywood gave me a chance. I became a legend because I created my own. Most people don't fail because they lack talent. They fail because they accept being average. They settle for good enough. But I feared mediocrity more than anything. I refused to settle. Every day I pushed myself beyond what I thought was possible. If I was fast, I had to be faster. If I was strong, I had to be stronger. Growth comes from discomfort, from pushing beyond what's easy. Success doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who chase it relentlessly. So many people dream but never take action. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity. But the truth is, there is no perfect moment. There's only now. I didn't wait for the world to recognize me. I made my own time, my own opportunities. If you have a goal, start now. Stop waiting. Stop making excuses. Time doesn't wait for you, and neither do your dreams. The greatest weapon you have isn't your fists, your strength, or even your skills. It's your will. It's that fire inside you, that unshakable determination that refuses to go out, no matter how many times life tries to extinguish it. When you feel like quitting, when the world tells you no, that's when you must push forward the hardest. True strength doesn't come from the body. It comes from the spirit, from the decision to never give up, no matter how many times you fall. What separates the ordinary from the extraordinary is that fire inside you, the one that refuses to be extinguished. That fire is what made me who I am, and that fire is what will make you unstoppable.